William the Conqueror was the first Norman monarch of England, and was descendant of Rollo, reigning from 1066 until his death. After the death of Edward the Confessor, William invaded England, leading an army of Normans to victory over the Anglo-Saxon forces of Harold Godwinson, at the Battle of Hastings. William was an illegitimate child of Robert I, Duke of Normandy and Herlever, in Falaise, Normandy, France. One of Herlever's brothers, Walter, became a supporter and protector of William during his minority. Robert decided to go on pilgrimage to Jerusalem, and had assembled Norman magnates, swear oath to William as his heir. Robert died at Nyssa, on his way back to Normandy. At only 8 years of age, William became the new Duke of Normandy. He faced several challenges on becoming Duke, including his illegitimate birth. A few of William's guards died, and his teacher was murdered during a period of severe anarchy. With the help of King Henry I of France, William managed to survive the early years. King Henry continued to support the young Duke, but the opponents of William came together in a rebellion, led by Guy of Burgundy with support from Nigel and Ranulph. Henry and William were victorious at the Battle of Val-es-Dunes. Guy of Burgundy retreated to his castle at Brionne, which besieged by William. The next 20 years witnessed a great increase in the power of the dukedom. The years of war trained William into one of the most formidable military strategists and field commanders of the Middle Ages. William was now too powerful. The King Henry sided with Norman rebels and launched a double invasion on the dukedom. William met the invasion by dividing his forces into two groups. The French army was defeated at Mortemont, and King Henry barely escaped with his life at Varaville. King Henry led another invasion to dislodge William. The siege of Thimeurt dragged for 2 years until Henry's death. The death of the king cemented the power of William. Being the most powerful warlord, William's ambitions now extended beyond France. He set his sights on the throne of England. William, technically still a vassal to the King of France, he could not attack without some prior justification and diplomacy. He proposed a justification for his invasion of England, with no less a claim that he was the rightful king. William was the grandson of King Edward's maternal uncle, Richard II of Normandy. William put it around that King Edward, without children of his own, had once chosen William as his successor. On his deathbed, Edward selected the Anglo-Saxon Harold Godwinson, a member of the enormously powerful Godwin family, as his successor. Harold was crowned as England's new king, in the Westminster Abbey by the Ealdred, the Archbishop of York. Convinced he had both right and God on his side, William made extensive preparations for an invasion of England in the summer. Convinced he had both right and God on his side, William made extensive preparations for an invasion of England in the summer. Harold Godwinson killed Harold at the Battle of Stamford Bridge near York, and then marched south to face William's army of 8,000 men, including cavalry. Harold had taken a defensive position at the top of Senlac Hill, about 6 miles from William's castle at Hastings. Although the numbers on each side were equal, William had both cavalry and infantry, including many archers, while Harold had only foot soldiers. The two armies clashed at Hastings on the 14th of October. William was victorious, and Harold Godwinson was killed, probably by an arrow to the eye. Before the reinforcements arrived, William marched on London, taking key strongholds such as Romney, Dover, Winchester and Canterbury. Many of the Anglo-Saxon nobles and the Archbishop of Canterbury swore allegiance to William, who was crowned on Christmas Day in Westminster Abbey. William remained in England after his coronation, and tried to reconcile the remaining earls, Edwin of Mercia, Morcar of Northumbria and Waltheof of Northampton. William might have got himself a rich new kingdom, but he did not ignore his lands in France. He frequently returned there. Within a year, a rebellion broke out, led by William's own eldest son Robert, who felt he was not being given enough power of his own. William attempted a siege of Gerberoy, but he seems to have learned rather too well the ways of war from his father, and William was defeated in a field engagement. On the 9th of September 1087, William died from illness, perhaps from an injury riding his horse, and by the obesity that afflicted him in later life. After William's death, His English kingdom was taken over by his son, William II Rufus. Meanwhile Robert Curthose took over the family lands in Normandy. England and Normandy would only be ruled again by a single monarch, in the reign of Henry I of England, another son of William the Conqueror.